So while Lo is watching them, even though our player had to head out, who's wearing the cloaks?
Okay, so what, there's 5 of us?
Yeah.
Okay, I can get 2 of us invisible.
Magpie volunteers to be invisible.
We will need 1 person who doesn't have cloak and isn't invisible.
I mean, Yuki also has invisibility, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I do.
Oh, then we can just probably all be invisible.
Dave has a problem of, well, possibly being invisible has a problem of being in plate armor.
So he would probably have to wear the cloak.
Yeah. Are you okay with that, Dave?
It'll do.
Alright.
I'll also be in a cloak to help cover Dave.
Good.
I'll piggyback on the back of you while I'm invisible.
Alright, so I will then make 2 of us invisible, Magpie. Yuki will go invisible herself, and then the other 2 will cloak up. Alright, let's go. Click invisible.
And keep in mind, Magpie has the stealth boots, so she's dead silent.
Yep.
She is.
At 3rd level to make both invisible.
Okay. So you have 2 people wearing cloaks and 3 people invisible. What are you doing with it?
Guess we're sneaking in.
Go into the tower.
Yep.
Right?
Let's all go to the tower.
So
we're going to the base of operations, basically.
You walk towards it, and amid a grove of gnarled scrub trees stands a half-fallen stone tower. There are a bunch of workers' tents, piles of timbers, and tools scattered around that, yeah, you can see there is reconstruction going on, but it really doesn't look like they've done much with it.
Just like the mayor said.
And as you get even closer, you can notice that, like the wood that's been used to shore up and help rebuild the walls, it's starting to rot. The tools are all kind of rusted to almost unusable degrees, and the tents some of them have been used recently, but there aren't any signs that people are using these on a regular basis, or like no extra packs of clothes or anything like that. They're just basically empty tents.
It's weird.
And after you look around a while, you guys are looking inside the tower too, I assume, from what you can see.
Yeah.
What you can see is you see a stone staircase that leads down to what kind of looks like a dark area.
I have dark vision. Can I see anything in the darkness?
I was gonna say, I think most of us
Well, from your
okay, 2 of
angle
us have.
right now, unless you're standing at the top of those stone stairs, you're not going to see down there.
Guess we move to the top. I think Dave's the only one who doesn't have dark vision.
Probably.
Dave's gonna light a torch.
Well, when you get up there, you notice there is light below. It just looks dark compared to the daytime.
Oh, okay.
Dave's not gonna light a torch. One day torch, one day you have your time.
Aww.
So, you're all going to the top of the stone.
We're stopping
stairs?
at the top of the stones. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So far, you haven't run into anyone. And there's still no one standing at the top of these stairs. It does look kind of abandoned. Give me a perception check.
11.
15.
19. 19 from me. Oh, so me and Yuki got like 19.
Okay. Anyone above the 17 mark again notices yet there is signs of traffic going in and going up and down those stone stairs, but you can't really tell anything definitive.
They have been using this. It's just, why are the tools all rusted? And why does it look like it's been abandoned for years?
Does anybody have some type of stonework or anything like that?
No dwarves
Stone
here.
cutting or anything like that? Okay.
Let's see here. I know
Nope.
about history and navigation, and a little
Okay.
bit about magic.
So
I
this-
know
this-
primordial for some reason.
Okay, the stone just looks like stone to you.
Magpie is good at investigation, but I don't think that's going to help.
Okay. So, are you going to go down, or are you going to do what?
There's no more other choice but to go down, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. The stairs descend 30 feet before opening up into a chamber of worked stones. 2 braziers flank the entrance, burning with aquamarine light.
Anyone else a little uneasy with that?
Not a common
I,
color,
mean,
no.
I think aquamarine's pretty good. Like, if it was purple or green, I'd be nervous. But, like, it's...
It's
Well,
bad.
there's-
Aquamarine's
some
different
pillars
enough.
that go towards the ceiling, stand in 2 rows, and each of the pillars is carved with the faces of otherworldly creatures.
Okay, now that's a problem.
It's
Do
but
you
it's
think?
by this stage David's drawn sword and shield.
There's a fountain that quietly flows at the far end of the room in front of a large set of double doors.
I am
There's
not touching
another
that fountain.
door you are coming in from the north side of this room. The double doors are on the south. On the west, you have another door. You have a single door closed. And the wall opposite to the east looks like there's a rough passageway from where the wall kind of collapsed in on itself over there. You look around. Because you are invisible or just wearing cultist robes, they don't really pay much attention to you. But you have four people in robes kind of standing around, kind of standing guard. And also 2 creatures. What? Thank you. Come on. That look like this. Just kind of meandering around the room.
Oh, not a fan. Not a fan at
Right.
all.
Oh
Bird
no!
brains.
Hey!
I'm getting flashbacks.
So, none of these people are really paying much attention to the 2 people in robes. So, everybody that's not in robes, make me a stealth check.
Even though we're all like, yeah, I
You're
think I have advantage.
invisible, but
They might
you're
have true
invisible.
sight.
Okay,
17.
Make the stealth check with advantage, by the way.
Oh, okay. So then it'll
let's-
be... Well, it'll be more than 17.
Well, that's
20,
a 19.
23.
Okay. You're making no noise. You're making basically no noise, or you're managing to time your footsteps to the footsteps of people in robes, so they are paying absolutely no attention to you.
Told you, I'm on Cyrano's back.
Yeah.
Magpie has those boots of silence, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Tevlin's small enough that he doesn't make a lot of noise anyway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So basically, you can look around the room if you want, but the people in the robes and the 2 creatures running back and forth are just kind of on alert, looking for people who don't, they need to be wary of. So what are you going to do?
Well, we do kind of need to get rid of those.
how close are the creatures and the guys to each other?
Okay, so
Big question, that one.
so they're not really close to each other. This is a fairly large room.
They are not, say, within a 15-foot cone.
No, they are not.
within a 20-foot radius sphere.
No, they're kind of the guys in the four guys in the robes are kind of at the corners of the room. Not exactly in the corners, but they're kind of hanging out near pillars. While the two monsters are just kind of going back and forth across the middle of the room.
Hey, guys, try and get them all into within 40 feet of each other.
However, you do have an opportunity to check the hidden passage or either of the sets of doors without doing anything to alert them that they've got intruders.
Let's check out that hidden passage.
Yeah, that sounds like it'd make the least amount of noise.
Okay. So
Magpie is very scared of those brain things.
So you walk to the passage, and it's kind of rubbly, but I'll give you your stealth checks from earlier to pass this, so you don't end up kicking a whole lot of extra rocks that two people would do. Also, the two people in robes, give me a performance check.
Performance, you say?
Oh, fuck.
Dave's like, I don't know how to act.
16.
Performance. What is that tied to?
Charisma.
Charisma. Yeah. Oh no.
Is that his dump stat?
It is equal to his dump stats.
Fuck!
11.
Okay, you do not completely blow it.
Whew.
You look like you're walking in there with a purpose. You look like you're actually supposed to be there. So they're not really paying you any attention and just kind of let you into that side room without any incident, where what you see when you get in there, can't play with what you freaking. You walk down the tunnel that comes out of the crumbling wall there, and you reach a small, just kind of a small carved out room. There's another set of stone stairs that goes down even further, along with one guy just kind of standing there looking bored. And this room is only lit by a single brazier.
Is it still aquamarine flames?
Yep.
Magpie is very uneasy, but keeping very dead silent.
And the guy kind of nods to both of you in robes and just kind of returns to watching the passageway you came out of.
Well, let's go through that door then.
Yep.
Door? You mean the stairway?
Yeah.
Nodding back.
We're going down.
Nodding back
Going
at him.
down.
Down the stairs.
Down the
Okay.
stairs.
So you walk down there. My freaking throat. So you walk down. Excuse me.
No dying.
Yeah. I wish no dying. That would be nice. Come on, bring up the freaking place. Thank you. So you get down to the bottom of the stairs, and what you see is it's no longer a nice, neat building. It's now like tunnels have been dug under the ground. which probably not completely unexpected. From where you stand, you can see 3 tunnels going off in different directions. You kind of came down the stairs from the east heading west. There's a tunnel that goes roughly off to the north of you. There's another tunnel that goes roughly off to the west of you. And there's a tunnel that goes off to the south of you from where you are. The tunnel here are only about wide enough for about 2 people to stand side by side.
Shit, I wish we had a map.
Magpie, using Whisper's telepathy, goes, so which one do we go into? Because I just remembered Whisper can let her talk telepathically to willing people.
I can do it to unwilling people. They also can't respond, though, is the problem. I mean, I don't really know where we want to go.
Do we hear anything coming from any of the tunnels?
You hear from... You don't hear anything coming from the north, but you hear some distressed voices coming from the west, and some distressed voices and gruffer voices coming from the south. They are not hiding anything right now.
South seems like where we're needed most to me.
David starts to move towards the south.
Guess we're going south.
Okay. So you walk down the tunnel, and what you run into are 4 more people in robes. One of them seems to have a little more adornment on his robe than the others. And it looks like a tornado hit the place, because there are like scrolls, notes, some vials, everything just kind of scattered around. And you also see a few training dummies against one wall. Give me a perception check.
18.
Once
A
again,
natural 20.
8.
19.
25.
One of these people looks a whole lot like the innkeeper.
Ooh.
The sun. Does he look 10 years younger?
He looks a whole lot like the innkeeper, except younger.
That's the sun. So, we have confirmed that the sun joined the cult.
Well,
Is he in the-
there goes one there goes one plan I had.
So,
And they stop basically beating things and setting them on fire long enough to look at you. And just to check. Yeah. They see that you two are wearing the robes and go back to basically beating things and burning them for practice.
Wow, these guys really aren't secure. Someone's wearing their robes and they're like, it's fine.
Again, burnt tongue.
They're so dumb. Like, this is the least competent cult I've ever seen.
you're going to brag on them when we get back to the guild.
Like, I'm going to talk so much shit about these guys for the rest of my life.
Well, up until we realized that the sun was here, my plan was going to be, let's just set this room on fire.
That was also my plan.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a problem now. We can't really do that with an important NPC in here.
However, you also notice, if you look around a little bit further, you also notice there is what looks like a jail cell in the other side of the room. And beyond that jail cell, there is another tunnel heading south.
To
Yes,
that
that's where they're
tunnel.
Yep.
So you walk to the tunnel. You walk past the jail cell.
Look in it as we're passing it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Give me a perception check.
It's
Not a natural one.
17.
a natural 20.
12.
Keeping
You
my eyes
notice-
directly ahead.
You notice there are 6 people in there. One of which looks
Oh,
an
no.
awful lot like the picture you were handed by the mayor.
Oh boy.
The
Is
other,
she will?
you don't know anything. All you can do is see them right now. Behind the prison bars, basically. And laying in a big lump, unconscious on the floor, is a Veckan.
Well,
Oh, no.
You notice that none of them are in good health. They all look like they look like they've been beaten and subdued pretty badly.
Oh boy.
Are any of them willing to accept telepathy? Because they should
I
be
don't
close
think
enough.
any of them are in the position to not accept it.
I look at the woman from the picture, and with Whisper's telepathy ability, Raven, please tell me if I'm doing this wrong.
Yeah, you're doing fine.
Your sister sent us. We're coming to get you out of here. We're gonna take this cult down.
She kind of smiles, but she looks extremely tired.
Yeah, Magpie is just assuring her.
And those of you with enough experience and survival can tell that she is suffering
Yeah,
from multiple levels of exhaustion too.
Yeah, and probably starvation, thirst, they are not treating these people well. So, guess we head into that tunnel.
Okay. So you continue to head there. Oddly enough, it once again splits out in a few different directions.
Son of a bitch.
These guys really like their
we're having fun with
tunnels.
this. I'll just kind of tell you what you run into. All of the directions but one. When you look down the tunnel, they're not very deep, but it looks like they've been collecting ash and bone. But you're not sure where the bones really came from.
Do they look human?
Perception check.
There's a reason I'm asking, because I have a bad feeling. 22.
There are definitely human, dwarf, elf, and halfling bones mixed in with the
Oh.
pile.
Well, that's fun.
One of them
But-
better not push it for us.
As you continue on, you see a set of stairs leading back up.
Follow the stairs?
Well,
Okay.
time to see what jackassery this is.
So you get in there, and you have walked into what kind of looks like a secured vault of some type. Not heavily secured. The only thing really in here are a couple of treasure chests.
This. Legitimately do not trust this.
It's not.
And
limit.
I say treasure
Not
chests, but
limits.
they are just chests.
I don't trust this.
I am taking a moment to load my crossbow.
Magpie already has her hand on her bow, and she's just eyeing these things.
Does anybody do anything? You're in a room that has a passageway going out of it to the north from where you are, but that's about it. It has that and the chest in it.
Anyone have a way of detecting traps or mimics?
No, because detect traps is a terrible spell.
I mean, I could always just cram the boxes in my bag of holding.
How big are these boxes?
They are they're like large storage locker chests.
You'd never fit one in.
Like things you would find in a military base. The big chests they put at the end of the bunks.
I'm betting they're gunpowder, and there's one way to find out.
Are we really gonna blow them up?
No, because I want to use that spell for something else.
Like, Magpie is not touching those chests because she's a little worried that they're trapped or there's something on them that will alert the guards that they're there.
Be better if we just avoid them altogether.
Yeah, we're not here to loot. We're here to stop a cult.
Stop cult, then get boxes. Got it.
If we've got time. So I guess we head to the door.
So you head up the passageway to the north, and what would appear is that you have hit a solid wall at the end of this. But you can tell there is a large outline that looks kind of like a door in front of you.
Anyone want to bet there's a secret passage in this thing?
Time to do what opened the door in that one dream I had.
Melon.
Cyrano takes a flying leap into the door.
That's gonna hurt.
And
splat. It worked. It worked in the one dream he had.
It did dislodge the door, but it also made a lot of noise.
Oh, great.
So the door, you thump against it, and this door slowly opens outward into, if I can find the actual freaking thing, okay, what looks like a very large chapel. The walls of this place have some fairly disturbing images carved into them. You can see an alcove to the south of this has a big purple stone statue of, well, you've seen this thing in the diary that Sarah wrote.
Kept.
The basically has a big creature with a large bulbous head, long arms, tentacles for legs, and multifaceted eyes glowing with aquamarine light. Yes, there are braziers up in the eyes that are glowing aquamarine as well.
Oh no, this thing's gonna come to life.
There's an altar in front of the statue, which has two bodies draped over it. In front of them, a tall, bald man clutches a bloody knife. He is flanked by two robed cultists, and floating next to him is one of those same brain creatures that you saw floating around in the front room.
What's the range between us and Mr. Knifey?
Most of them are looking at you, and scattered around the room are some more cultists.
Great, we interrupted the fucking church service.
Well,
see, Lantern the player is of two minds of this. On one hand, he's like, We could bluff them and get more information. On the other hand,
I'll be honest,
is
I
it-
want to throw a fireball.
is it
Yeah.
murder time?
I-
Is it?
I want to throw a fireball. Like I've not thrown a fireball with Tedlin today.
When you see the cultist run towards you, he goes, "What are you doing here? You'll disrupt the ceremony."
Fireball.
You know what? Jazz hands, burning hands.
Okay, so I'll give you the dimensions of where you are. This chapel is large. It's about at least 200 feet across. It's a big place. The place they're having the ceremony from is about 100 feet from this secret door you actually went the wrong way through.
Yes. It's failed successfully.
You literally went in the secret door. You were supposed to find the secret. I mean, you found it the way you could find it, but most people would storm through the other doors and have to find this secret door. Otherwise, you went to the secret door from the backside. Congratulations. And you are about 100 feet away from where the altar is at the moment.
We did this the Smalls way.
So,
Backwards.
In that case, well, Tor and Fangy and Sauce and Boxy are basically trying to incinerate the cultist and take a pot shot at Mr. Knifey.
okay. Everybody needs to roll initiative now, including all the cultists.
Oh boy.
This went amazingly.
Amazingly live. Let's see. 18 plus 7 is.
And when the cultists approach you and you start to attack, you notice a second one of those brain creatures come from behind a wall.
Great.
That sure is a set of initiatives.
Okay, so it will be Magpie. I moved my pad.
I'm putting Whisper out because of.
I am just going through this and getting the initiative order. Most of you beat most of the cultists and stuff too, so
Sweet.
you will almost get a surprise round out of this. Then B, then C, then Dave. Unfortunately, all the cultists and the creatures are going to go in one big bunch, mostly.
Oh
They
boy.
pretty much all bunched up at the same point in time. Okay. So, you have, in this room right now, you have 4 cultists, you have 2 creatures, and you have Dude, who has basically a creature standing in front of him.
Who goes first?
Magpie.
Of course she does. And she's invisible.
So, due to Whisper, she is going to roll her attack. But first, she's going to have to roll a concentration. Because if you're hidden or invisible, your attacks with this weapon deal psychic damage, blah, blah, blah. As a bonus action, you can roll a DC 15 concentration check. If you succeed, attacks you make this round do not end your invisibility. Guess what Magpie's doing?
I will add that it's going to drop on my turn anyway. Because
You
I'm
have to
gonna
concentrate on it.
not just that. It's because I'm going to do an action that's going to drop it.
Great. Well, still, Magpie's gonna roll her DC 15. Barely made it. 16.
Okay.
So she's gonna fire at the creature. The creature in front of Mr. Stabby.
Okay.
Question, Raven. The concentration check is for every attack or just the first one, and then after that she stays invisible?
Every attack.
Also,
Every
just
attack.
reading invisibility again, it's fine. I can maintain concentration on it. It's just if I take damage, it will almost certainly drop.
Right. Protect the wizard. Okay, so Magpie's first attack. 23.
Okay, that is going to hit.
She didn't cast Hunter's Mark because of the bonus action, by the way. So that is a d8 of damage. Plus 5. Hang on. I was trying to get D&D Beyond to do it, but it's not doing it, so. 11.
11 damage. Okay. The arrow sinks in. It is not happy.
I could imagine it has an arrow in its head. It's also psychic damage as opposed to regular damage, if that does anything.
Where is that stat blockage? There it is. I'm just making sure that it doesn't have any immunities to that.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it was psychic damage. Okay.
Okay, nothing special there. It's down 11 hit points.
Okay. Fire 2 first, the concentration. 19 on the concentration. And the attack is 25.
Okay, that's going to hit. That wasn't a critical, correct?
No, it was a nag. I literally have like 10 to my archery.
Okay, roll damage.
Just did 12.
Okay.
Final concentration check.
It now has 2 arrows sticking out of it.
Barely with a 16. And the attack 27.
That will hit.
And this is the third Gloomstalker attack, which means it gets the extra little d8 bonus. So that's 8 plus 4. So 12 total again.
Okay. So now it has 3 arrows sticking out of it. It's you can see fluid start to leak from the arrow holes, but it is very much not happy with you right now.
Not that it can take. Does it know I'm there?
I'm just checking.
The
No, it
concentration.
does not know where the arrows came from, other than in the rough direction of the door that was just opened.
Okay, yeah. Because Magpie is sneaky.
Okay.
And she's going to move away from the door a little bit to kind of hide herself a little better.
So you're going to
Until
kind
the
of
next
hide back
round.
in the passageway a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Cyrano, you are up next.
How close are the cultists approaching me?
The cultist approaching you are kind of fanned out from you, and they're about 50 feet away right now.
Damn. Okay. So not close enough for, say, a 15
Jazz hands.
zone. Not close
No.
enough for jazz hands. Let's see. What's the range? Oh. In that case, let's see here. Are any of them within a 10-foot Are any of them within 20 feet of each other?
You can catch 2 of them.
Okay, so midway between those two, and let me see
Which,
how.
I mean, think of them kind of spread out like a baseball diamond.
Okay.
Like you would have the defensive people on a baseball diamond. 2 at one at first, 1 at third, 1 at second, and shortstop.
Okay, so I could take out like first and
Imagine knowing
shortstop.
Either the 2
baseball
on the
rules.
left, the 2 on the right, or the 2 in the middle.
I'll go for the 2 in the middle,
Okay.
and I am going to cast Shatter. So they need to make a Constitution save DC 14.
Okay, let's see. He passes. He does not. One of them does not pass the check.
Okay, so the one that passed is going to take half damage. So let's see here. 5, 6. Okay, so that is 13 thunder damage.
Okay. And that's the full volume and not the halved.
That's the full volume, yep.
Okay.
And a non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried also takes the damage if it's in the spell's area. So, like, if any of the pillars or anything were within that area, it also takes.
They're magical.
Okay, yeah.
They've got
But,
magical enchantments on them, so I don't think that's gonna. But okay, so you do that. One of them kind of keels backward a little bit. The other looks like he just dropped dead of a heart attack.
And okay. Let me check one thing real quick. You know, it would have helped if I wrote down more details of that. And my player's handbook is not currently right next to me.
There's 5e tools.
Let's see here. Okay, I am summoning my sword to my hand as a bonus action.
Okay. Are you going to move anywhere, or are you going to stay right there?
I am going to start moving towards the guy who keeled back a little bit.
Okay. Are you moving as far as you can, or are you...
I'm gonna make him come to me.
Okay. So you're just going to stand about 10 to 20 feet outside the door?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's your turn? Okay, Tedlin.
How many are within a 40-foot diameter sphere?
Of you? None.
No, not of me, just within whatever the range of fireball is. 150 feet. So just, is there, so 20-foot radius sphere, 40-foot diameter sphere, how many are within that kind of space?
Okay, so if you're talking the cultists themselves, a 20-foot diameter spear will catch any
20-foot radius sphere.
A 20-foot radius for a 40-foot spear. You could probably catch 3 of them, except for, well, one of them is dead right now. So you could probably catch. You could catch. You got the one off to the left middle. So you've got one guy standing over here by himself on the left. Then you've got 2 more that are kind of off to the right. You can probably catch any 2 of them in a fireball.
Two seems a bit.
Or you you do have other targets besides those cultists.
I mean, just in general, how many targets can I get within a?
2 at most.
2 at most. Okay. In that case, I won't do that. I will use momentary stasis. The guy who seems to be in charge. Yeah. Could I get a
Mr.
con
Stabby.
save from him?
You get a con save from him?
Yes. DC
Let me
50.
make sure I'm reading this. Yes. He rolled a 19.
Well, that's a shame. That's my turn. I also need to go. So.
Dang it.
But what I can do is, Sora, I'm just going to send you Tedlin's character sheet, and you can just do his turn, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, give me 1 second. There you go. You should have access to it.
Okay.
Lots of spells, lots of features. Do with as you will. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Wish
Yeah,
us
that-
luck.
Okay.
Hey, who's next?
Who's next? Okay, Cultist A starts charging at you. He doesn't quite have enough movement to actually reach you. The grell that hasn't been... These things are called grells, by the way. Figured I'd
Yep.
get that out of the way.
I couldn't remember what they did, but I remembered the name.
Bird brain.
It starts coming at your direction. It doesn't quite have the movement to reach you, but it is headed in your direction now. I just need to double check that because I forgot what their full move was. Yeah, they hover 30, so it's not gonna reach you this turn, but it is headed towards you. Cultist D is still alive. You haven't touched him yet. He's charging towards you with his sword drawn, and the grell that's been turned into partial pincushion moves to completely obscure the bald guy in front of the altar.
I figured it would. That's why I was aiming for him.
Yep. So then you hear from behind the grell, "Fools! They stop us now in their moment of glory? Hold them back. I just need a few more moments." And now it is Dave's turn. All the cultists have, except for one, have so far gotten 30 feet closer to you. So now they're about 20 feet away.
Football tackle a cultist, Dave. You know you want to.
I think he wants to go after the grell that I turned into a pincushion so he can get to the cult leader.
20 feet away, you say?
Yep.
Dave drops a heavy crossbow, draws his long sword, and charges to meet. Are they too close together where they can basically attack both of them in the same turn?
They're still a little bit far spread out for that.
He charges
Actually, no, I take that back. The one that rocked back slightly from the thunder earlier is standing about 5 feet away from one of the other ones, but the other guy's kind of off on his own.
Okay, charges the one that fell back. And swings in with a longsword.
Okay.
For a 10 to hit.
You do not hit.
Follows through with the second attack. Okay, I'm not running with that one anymore. That was a critical failure.
Oof.
Oof.
Yeah, automatic miss.
Yep.
Oh. The cultist did a dance.
Yep.
The cultist basically just basically jumped to the side as you did a massive overhead swing. The cultist kind of jumped to the side and then jumped back to avoid the follow through.
You know what? Look at that.
Anything else?
I'm using my action surge.
Okay.
I'm going to take one additional action, so I get 2 more attacks.
Ooh.
Do D6, a D20. God damn it. That is 14 to hit.
That hits.
Woo!
For, oh, for crying out loud. 6 damage.
How do you want to kill him? That was exactly enough.
Oh my god. Oh,
I
way
s-
to go.
I slash it from shoulder to hip.
There we go. Okay. You still have one attack left.
One attack left and movement left to go engage the last one. Swinging for the last attack. Okay, that's another natural one.
What?
Automatic miss. Oof.
Well, slightly better luck. You killed one. So that's 2 dead.
And do you have anything else you can do on your turn?
I do not.
Okay. That means it's up for Yuki.
Okay. First things off, she's gonna jump off of Cyrano's back and start playing her lyre to give him some bardic inspiration.
Okay. Cyrano, you keep track of that.
1 inspiration.
And then she's gonna pull out her Bandor, and she's gonna cast Entangle on the knifey guy, right underneath him.
Okay. Let me have to pull up Entangle here. What's your what is your spell save DC?
13.
13. Oh, he's grappled.
Woo!
He's restrained. He still can do things, but he can't move.
That's something, at
And
least.
then the grill that's like right next to him. Oh, you didn't get the grill though.
Darn.
Okay.
AKA the girl that's currently covered in arrows.
Yep, the grill that is currently a pincushion.
Mm.
I am still proud of that.
Okay. So then, as Yuki finishes the turn, you can't exactly understand him, I don't think. But he begins to start chanting.
Okay, sounds like we're on a timer now.
Come on, work with me. Thank you. So does anybody understand Infernal?
Nope.
Not Dave.
Not Psy.
Nope.
Does Tedlin?
I'm trying to find out if he I'm trying to find out where his things are listed for speeches, for languages. I am not finding his languages known. There they are. Nope, he does not speak it. He speaks primordial, but not infernal. Oh well.
Figures.
So anyway, with the chanting starting, it has gone on, and now it is back to Magpie's turn.
Okay, Magpie is telepathically telling her party, we might want to hurry up. I don't like that chanting. So first, the concentration check, because I think she's still invisible.
I'm going to assume it hasn't broken yet.
Yeah.
K17, just barely. She's going to attack the Grell again, the one that's pincushion. 22.
That's going to hit.
12 damage.
Okay, this thing is now very shaky, but it is still there.
Stubborn ass thing. Concentration check. 15. Exactly. So I think I win on a tie. Let me double check.
If it's a save, yeah, you just have to meet or exceed the number.
Okay. So 25 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
13 damage.
Okay, and with that, it finally
Dies!
stops moving.
Hmm.
However, it turns into kind of like a stone statue when it dies.
So it doesn't really die, just kind of goes.
It dies, it just turns into a stone statue.
Is it a magical stone statue, though?
No, it is not.
It's just a very dead statue.
Mm-hmm.
And that is all Magpie can really do at the moment.
Okay.
She has 2 attacks. And she wanted to get rid of that growl, because she has a feeling those growls are really dangerous. She doesn't know what the fuck they are, just has a bad feeling because floating brain things are never good.
Okay, so it is now Cyrano's turn again.
Am I within 60 feet of Mr. Stabby and Mr. Statue?
No, you are 100. Well, you are now 80 feet. If
Okay.
You're 80 to 90 feet away.
Okay, and my movement rate is 30, so I am going to move the 30 feet to get closer.
If you move, you will go by the alive cultist. You will go by at least one alive cultist.
Crap. Okay. In that case, I am going to go beat up an alive cultist.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So go up to him, and I am going to do Booming Blade.
Ooh.
And that is a miss.
Ah.
That was a nat 1.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's automatic miss.
But thanks to my war magic, unless you want to do something to screw me over here, thanks to war magic, if you use your action to cantrip, which I just did, can use bonus action to make weapon attack.
Okay.
So that is a 23.
You're
Hit. It's successful.
And that is, wow, 8 damage.
You cut him up pretty good. He's still alive, but you cut him up pretty good.
Do I want to take my action surge right now?
How many do you have?
Yeah, he's still standing. Not by much. You can tell you hurt him really, really badly.
Let me take a quick check here. Okay, I can only do it the one time.
Mm.
So I'm not gonna do it yet. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna do it yet. So that's my turn, and Tedlin is up, I believe.
Okay. Tedlin is still, Tedlin's still invisible and has mage armor on, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
So you are going to hear his voice cry out, "Magic Missile!" He's not gonna upcast it. I don't have these spells prepared or up on my sheet because I wasn't expecting to be the one casting them.
No, I don't want to look up magic mixes. I want to look up magic missile, damn it.
Basically.
Okay,
Yeah, that's 3 darts, so it is. You cannot miss with magic missile.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
And it's 1d4 plus 1 force damage.
That is a 4 on the die 4. Good. So basically, you don't see him since he's invisible. Basically, from the tips of his fingers, you don't see, streak out the 3 darts, and they go towards the grell that's slowly hovering your direction from the other side of the room. And all of those strike.